boom, boom. Boom, boom. I got to turn on Do Not Disturb. Good morning. I'm hitting the thumbs up. Oh yeah. I have a software update that I decided not to do. Morning, Joe. Man, I got I didn't ask for it, but I got a bunch of messages with people taking photos of where they listen to my podcast, and I was shocked. Amazon's up. I do want to take a look at year-to-date Amazon. Disney's under 90. Cleveland Cliffs is at 1457. So I got to start adding to that one once it gets. I have not been trading a lot, like buying or selling. I'm just being patient. I mean, this debt ceiling issue, it's, the VIX is up 6% at 19. So I saw a strategy yesterday. Hey, Milton, Georgia. Sweet. I'm in Atlanta. I was just talking to somebody in Lake County, Florida as well. I know there is somebody who has a peach farm who was an early listener down in southern Georgia. This one is, 332. What's that? Up almost 10% here for you, Vixie? XPOF. Let's look at XPOF. What is XPOF? Exponential Fitness. I don't want top chat. I want live chat. Morning, Zephin. Zephin, I was thinking of you last night. Somebody had mentioned the name Tom, and I was like, what a douche. And it wasn't Tom from the podcast. It was just Tom, and he popped into my mind as just being a douche. It is NVIDIA Day. I've got that at the top of my notes, I think. Let me see. Wednesday, I have NVIDIA Day. And just to preview, if NVIDIA... There's two things that I'm worried about with NVIDIA. Long term, I'm worried about China actually banning their chips just to F with the U.S. because NVIDIA is such a big part of the S&P. The other thing, and it's more today, I'm worried about NVIDIA. And I've been reading a lot about it. If NVIDIA, and I tend to agree with this synopsis, if NVIDIA just blows things out of the water and they got rid of their inventories and they're producing chips beyond belief and they're just up and they're doing a lot and blah, blah, blah. And the market just says yawn and doesn't do anything. I think that's bad for the market. If they blow it out of the water and at least the stock market rises, futures go up and we open up tomorrow, that would be good. If for some reason it's just a ho-hum quarter and it pulls back, let me finish XPOF here before I go into NVIDIA. The chart doesn't instill confidence. They're not making money. $265 million in sales, $1.3 billion market cap. Not a huge company. Initiated coverage at $38. The average price target is $40. You're trading at $26. Outperformed to neutral. Most of the price targets are between $29 and $38, it looks like. Recent, the 52-week range, you're up near it. 21% off the top. Earnings per share next year expected to grow by 120%. Scroll down, everybody's selling in the 30s. And not small sales. This is the CEO. The CEO is cashing out. CEO is cashing out between 28 and 30. You can expect the price be between 28 and 30 for the foreseeable future. He is absolutely cashing out. I mean, look at this. Option exercise, 1 million shares, 1,052,000, January 5th. He wound up selling, this guy sold 4 million shares at $24.50, $98 million. Imagine if he had just waited a couple of months for it to be up near 30 like the CEO did in April. That is $32 million. Let's see. $6, say $6 more. 4 million shares. That's, $24 million more. So I'm not going to talk you out of buying it. Fitness, I think, what do they do? Operates boutique fitness franchise. It offers Pilates indoor strength. Gym business is tough. I will tell you, there's, to keep people coming in the door, it's tough. To keep people paying for it, it's tough. It's just not a super high margin business, and that's the only thing that I know about it. I don't know anything else. Even look, tons of insider selling. So Eric, I don't know. Is there a catalyst coming up? They had their earnings. Here you go. Look, they made 11 cents per share. They made 13 cents per share. So you got the hype train. They made 11 cents per share, and you got the down train after the earnings were quote unquote realized, and everybody started selling around here 27. You got the hype train up here, and they lost 2 cents per share. So costs. Are they keeping people in the door? I just don't know. The stock has been a long-term winner over 2 years. So you've made 136% if you bought and held it over 2 years. We can look at a weekly. So what? 2 years would bring us back here in May. $16, $17. And then the hype train started. And all of a sudden you lose 2 cents per share. Now, 2 cents per share isn't the end of the day, but in my mind, I think, Eric, I think it's trade. And it's just because, what worries me about something like this is that's a lot of insider selling. And why are they selling? Probably because, it's a franchise business. It's probably hard to keep franchises open. And, franchise is just tough. Talk to McDonald's. Talk to Chick-fil-A. There's a reason Chick-fil-A has so many restrictions on their franchises. It's just a tough business. This is what I wanted to. We can redo this one. It's not going to change too much. Let me go to Seeking Alpha. Earnings Whisper. Let's see. Today. Dollar Tree is reporting at 7:30. It doesn't say. Oh, it didn't go over to Wednesday. Kohl's, big one today, by the way. Woof. Abercrombie's the stock of the day, by the way. Crazy good. I have that one listed. But after market close, we've got NVIDIA, we've got Snowflake. If I had to guess, because Abercrombie was so good, I wonder about AE. Is AEO the play after the bell today? AEO, by the way, is up 6%. 6% just on Abercrombie news. That's just Abercrombie is up. ANF is Abercrombie symbol. ANF, on the other hand, is up 16% from 23 to 26. I think you're probably going to go to 28 during the day today at some point in time, just because of that little pop right there, that button hook. It kind of hits me that I think that's where you'll go. I don't think you're going to hit this 31. But 26 is right where the 200-day is. And those guys posted earnings that are far better than just being at the 200-day. That's why I say I think it's going to get a little bit up here. It's maybe 28. Make no mistake about it. China, the other one that's up a good amount today is Moderna. And it was up yesterday. I mean, it had a 10% swing in the morning candle. The afternoon candle was pretty, dull. Afternoon candles usually are. But China's having another COVID wave, and they don't have Western vaccines, and they probably will not have Western vaccines. But I would not put it past Stefan Bancel, who is the CEO, who constantly sells this stock. I would not be shocked. Add to visible column. Oh, no. We want season. I don't like add to visible column. Oh, I just messed this up. I don't care about insiders, really. Seasonality. Let's add to visible column. There we go. Okay, I can have that. Season analyst news watch. I really need to use these bots options. There's also unusual option. There's so much in TrendSpider. I was having a discussion with somebody last night in that, and I'll bring this up. I think you do have to have enough money to justify $400 for TrendSpider. But this subscriber and I last night were talking. He's a subscriber. He's like, listen, I invested in TrendSpider a year ago. Listen to your podcast. He goes, it's paid its back just by saving me on some of these downturns and stuff. So, yeah. And I am talking about doing a PDF of kind of the way I learned about reading charts and strategies and YouTube links for some of the channels and things of that sort that I do. Probably be a 5-10 page PDF, nothing huge. But I want to charge like $20 for it because my theory on it is, and it's the same as TrendSpider. If you pay for TrendSpider, you've got skin in the game. And so you've got money invested because it's $400. You're going to use it. You're going to look at it. You're going to basically be a better trader because you are looking at it. Or investor, one or the other. Again, my system is not always the best system for everybody. But if you're just learning and you're just trying to understand things, you can develop your system off of my system and create other things. Like, Eric, you're doing options. Hey, I don't do options. Kudos. You can use whatever information that I give to do options. And you'll probably make a significant amount more money than I do, percentage-wise, because I don't play options. I think options are a great tool. I've talked about it before. I think it's more a hedge than anything else. But Best Buy earnings call. Did Best Buy do good on earnings? I don't even know. Let's see. BBBY. I traded Best Buy a bunch of times. It is up 0.75. I mean, in a good market, it's an $80 stock. It's at 70. It's kind of like Foot Locker. When was if the last time you were in Best Buy was like last week and you bought something, buy Best Buy stock. If you just go into Best Buy and bargain shop and then buy online, maybe it's Amazon. Go and buy Amazon. I mean, listen, there is no way I'm walking into Best Buy and buying an HDMI cord when I can get one off of Amazon for $5 and it's $30 at Best Buy. I don't care if I have to wait a day. Just not doing that. So let's do some scans. I've got enough stocks to talk about. And Eric, hopefully I answered I'm not going to include the fitness one. I commend you though, and it's like I told Zephan, and you guys make me so happy when you're like, hey, I used FinViz to look this up, or Zephan's analysis of Tesla the other day. I mean, it just makes me happy that you guys that I've taught you something that you're using these skills, because your boy is listen. I beg you guys for tips every now and then. I like it when you tip me. Gives me that little adrenaline pump. I don't care if it's dollar. I mean, shit. I got a Nielsen, for anybody that's in the TV business, I got a Nielsen thing yesterday with a $2 bills in it. Fucking excited out the wazoo. And then they said, fill out this survey and you'll get $5 in mail. Your boy filled it out. Your boy's sending it in today. I want my $5. So I don't care how much you tip me. It just makes me feel good. So, but at the end of the day, I only want you to tip me when you make money, because I will lose you money over time. Yeah, Eric, trust me, I don't beg for tips. I don't charge for this stuff. I am perfectly fine from a standpoint of I make enough money that to live on, not from the podcast. I mean, shit. The podcast doesn't. Spotify pays me through ads. YouTube does not pay me through ads. So if you're here and you're new, hit subscribe, because I got to hit 1,000 subscribers. But I don't put a lot of time into either one. So I'm definitely not making. I'm probably making $2-3 an hour for the amount of shit that I do on this thing. But yeah, Eric, you'll learn. I mean, yeah, I think you'll. Zephan, it was just 50% off. But here's what the other point, Zephan, is you're young, and at 19, I think you're 19 or 20. There is no way I had enough money to trade to justify $400 for TrendSpider for the year. It just didn't make sense for me whatsoever, because I was trading, back at that time, though, when I was 19 or 20, it cost $50 to actually trade. It was $25 to sell, $25, and those were fees. So I had maybe $5,000-$10,000, and maybe I would trade, once a month. It wasn't day trading. I couldn't afford to day trade. Try and make it $50 on a $200 trade was that's a lot to ask for. So you were limited, but I remember those small account kind of things. And trading the Webull account, it has $1,000 in it. There's no freaking way I'm paying $400 for TrendSpider on a $1,000 account. But you can use TradingView, you can use FinViz. I'll give you, that's what the $20 kind of PDF is for. Hey, here's some tools that you can use. I mean, Active Trader Pro. Before I had TrendSpider, I was using Active Trader Pro. So this guy's still got the top energy transfer. Let's look at energy transfer. I'm going to put that into the podcast. Did this get pulled up? 1255. I think I brought it up at about 1250. Let's see. Big insider buy brought up around 1250. 1275. 1283. I'm going to say 1280. Okay, let's do some scans. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people I think would buy the PDF. And again, it's just probably the charge isn't the amount, but from what I see and from what I hear, I mean, nothing turns me off more than people charging for courses, charging for things. The free tools out there, I mean, and my strategy will not work for everybody. I mean, this 4-hour algorithm, it's super simple. It uses a couple of moving averages and MACD. And the MACD, if you want to Google it, just do Google MACD trading rush. And the guy's got a great video about how he backtested the MACD and how awesome it is. Okay, let's go to Seeking Alpha. And I want to look at Amazon. And I want to do charting. And I want to add comparison. I'm going to take that out. I'm going to do Meta. I'm going to do Apple. I'm going to do Netflix. We're going to do Google. That's FANG. And see, while they're all up year to date, Meta is by far the biggest one. So, I mean, let's see, 1 year. Netflix is the biggest one. 3 year. Your Apple is the biggest one. 5 year Apple's going to be the big one, yeah. I mean, for once, I picked the winner here, except for Meta. But okay, let's do some scans. Market scanner. It's starting out with the S&P because I probably just didn't. AMZN. I like AMZN. Bristol Myers. I'll stay out of the healthcare. Verizon. I like Verizon. EXC. It's got a cute little button hook to take it to maybe 42. I like that one. EXC. TMUS. It's interesting. Verizon and T-Mobile both have button hooks and both have cross-ups. T-Mobile probably is going to fill this gap up here, but I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, Zephan, I read this great, here, let me see. Because Steve Burns posted this great thing. Oh God. Look at that, 50% off. That's crazy good. Ross is holding a 9 o'clock. He's doing live on Facebook. Warrior Trading. Ross is good. 10 new people joined today. Steve Burns. So here, New Trader U. This one's for you, Zephin, and I'll post it. I think it was New Trader U. Yeah, that's a good one. I like that one. Yeah. See, and there, I mean, Steve Burns, if you're not following him, he's really good, and he posts some really good stuff. And he posted, here it is. This one is for you, Zev, and I'll post it in the share to your group, to a group. Why I do both technical and fundamental buying a stock. Trading or investing in a stock. Okay. We'll post that. If you're not part of the private Facebook group, it is down below in a link tree. I post stuff in there all the time, things that I find important. Steve posts a lot of stuff, newtraderu.com. I like his stuff. I have not taken his courses. He does charge for courses. He is not one of the douches that charges crazy stuff for courses. I think you'll get something out of his courses. What worries me about Steve is Stephen Burns at bellsouth.net. You can tell he's old school. Total old school, but I like Verizon there. Boyle, I saw buyers at 260 to 280. I have a question. So every sum of money that I earned, I bought Google. So every paycheck, I would have some go into my investment account, and I would buy Google. Now Google's up for me to feel comfortable buying. I don't know another company. I was thinking Amazon, Starbucks, something medical. I don't know. Apple is out of my price range. I want to buy right now too. It's part of Zephin. This is part of what I preach, is being patient. And in my mind, I don't know that I necessarily would buy anything right now. If you want to get into another kind of quote unquote Google-like thing, I'm going to bring it up. Meta, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but Meta, even though it's been up so much year to date, it's 105%. The PE is 29, but the forward PE is only 16. Loop Capital to put their price target at 320. It's trading at 240. And there was an upgrade today. Meta platform bounce, DeSantis Twitter campaign debut shows Musk's Facebook owner. I don't see it, but there was a UBS named. Let me Google this. UBS names Meta top pick, and let's see if the news comes up. News, and let's do tools. Let's do past 24 hours. No, I guess not. I can't find it. But UBS did name Meta the top pick for the rest of the year with a $300 price point. So while here's what I say. I have the private Facebook group. I have an Instagram. I have a Twitter. I don't have TikTok. I like when I... Okay, I'm going to talk to iPhone people right now. Go to your settings and go to screen time and go to see all activity and then look at the week. What's the number one app you use? And I'm just talking to iPhone users right here because I don't know how to look it up on Android. And if you're Android, I saw a great comedy bit about Apple people are racist because, we judge people based on the color of their texts. And if you're Android, you're just, you're not right. But, yeah. So Zephan, I would say, I don't think Starbucks is a little bit crazy. I think Amazon still has some issues. My personal opinion on Amazon, and one of the reasons why I wanted to look at this chart, is where is it in comparison to the rest of FANG? And it's kind of underperformed Apple and Google a little bit, but not by much. Year to date, Netflix is the underperformer, but Netflix, and I think I have this in my thing. I guess I don't. Netflix password. I need to bring that up. Let's see. Netflix started cracking down on passwords in the U.S. This would be, let's see, one customer means 5 users in the U.S. to get just one of the additional 4, 20% increase in subscribers and revenue. Okay. And don't be afraid of Apple. Here, okay. Kind of going on this thing. Apple versus Google. Apple versus Amazon. Apple versus Netflix. Apple versus Meta. Apple is buying back their stock at a huge pace. And so the market cap essentially will go down because they're buying it back. And here's what you have to know about Apple. Just in the last quarter, they said they would buy back $90 billion. So let's say, what is 90 divided by 2,696?
The answer is approximately 0.0335.
So they're going to, just in the last quarter, they will buy $90 billion of their stock back. They probably, it's 3% of their total market cap. So they're going to buy back 3%. You know what that does to you? If it just stays at the same, say, for instance, the buying and selling just is kind of the volume just kind of stays on this mark. It's going to go up by 3%. Because they're going to buy back 3% of the company. So they don't retire it all. They use it for stock grants to executives, blah, blah, blah. But they're not giving out $90 billion of stock. They're going to retire it or hold it. They're not going to, kind of go away. But that's the way I look at stuff, Zephan. I would stick with big tech as a blue chip. And I hate saying that because it limits, it absolutely, KOLD has a cross up, and LNG. It limits your diversification, but in this market, Diversification has been your enemy. I mean, outside of tech. And again, I'm a tech investor. I was trying to look it up the other day. But I don't, UVIXI, SDAO. How did SDAO have a cross up? Oh, because everything's been going down. Let me look at the strategy tester real quick. Run. Oh, that's a secondary cross up, but the RSI is kind of high. Maybe the Dow's looking like, And Zephin, use the use FinViz Screener too. I'd urge you to use this FinViz Screener, and you can say market cap mega, say 200 billion or more. You can say earnings date. Let's look at all. Earnings per share growth, we can say over 5%. You're down to 32. You can say maybe you don't want a dividend, but let's see. PE, we can say over 10. 26. Return on assets, performance, we can say, let's say we want it 10% below the 50-day. There's nothing there. Let's just say below the 50-day. There you go. So all of these companies are below the 50-day. They're going to grow over 5%. Their PE is over 10. And they're blue chip mega. So, Zephin, that's kind of, your request is kind of simple. No, debt ceiling is June 1st. They've been kind of set up with a deadline, so it's next week. But it does take some time to write the bill and get it to the president's desk. So they have to basically agree on a framework and then get it written. So it will take quite a while, but June 1st is kind of the set date. And we don't exactly know what's going on with it, but yeah. And Zephin, I mean, I know Coke, I've said, hey, buy it under 60. I don't think that one's going to get you a major, like, oh my God, we're going to, say it go 20% in the next year. No. Coke is just something, it's been okay. Procter & Gamble has been beaten up. Thermo Fisher is absolutely 100%. I think that's just too high on the PE scale. But let's see. Let's look at under 10. Let's look for value. Is there anything under value? Look, it's energy. And energy, in my mind, Zephin. Yeah, Coke is, Coke is different. You're younger. I would hate for you to go into Coke. You should have, in my mind, I had Coke because I drink Pepsi. I drink Pepsi and Coke. I just love it. And so I buy what you drink, buy what you use, that's kind of been my thing. And it's worked out for me. Long term, I would have been better significantly putting it into Apple or something like that. And you're younger, that I think you can take those risks. So I don't want you to fall into the realm that I was in when I was younger, which was, hey, let me just buy Coke and have that. I think you want to take a little bit more risk. You look at Chevron and Exxon here. I mean, they're just going to return shareholder value. They're going to buy back a shit ton of stocks. They're going to start doing, Chevron is buying another company. So I think that you can look at that. But that's a good way to look at it. Just kind of from I think you spend some time on VinViz. That would be my suggestion. I found out, I didn't know this, but I guess the reason McDonald's Coke tastes so good is there is a unique additive on their Coke. I was talking to a guy who pretty much knows that stuff. Ooh, ETHE and GBTC. Tilray too. Do we get into pot stocks? I don't know. That's on my not owned list that I will not share with anybody because it is too risky to. It's risky stocks. I mean, if you want to get into that, find your own risky stocks that you can get into. But every time I see a big mover, I kind of add to that list just to scan for it. And I don't. The reason I don't share it is because I don't think it has any value. And it shouldn't have value because it's all plays that are kind of just junky. Invitae. CGen. EGY. Let me look at EGY. By the way, I updated my LinkedIn with again to try and gain some following with AI prompt specialist. Charge point reminded me of ChatGPT, just the symbol. Let me look at EGY. That one's been beaten down, Joe. And yeah, you just did miss the ex-dividend date. About half of what it was at its high in June. June 2021 was when oil was at 120, 130, maybe 150, I forget. But it was significantly high. And Zephin, you've got a pretty easy ask there just to go to FinViz and look. 6.16, that's a good dividend. You're right. Year to date down 10%. Initiated coverage, stifled buy, average target price is 9, and you're trading at 4. I agree with Joe. That's probably it's one that probably just got beaten down. And look at the buys; they're all buying at 3. So you're it's not huge buys, but at least they're not selling. I mean, I'd be nervous if these guys were selling at 3 and 4, but they're buying. It's a good one. I like that, Joe. Great suggestion there. Let's go back to the scans. Okay, ARC Holdings. I'm going to do, there's nothing there other than GBTC. The reason, and I know I'm EV heavy, but the reason I'm not putting ChargePoint in there, I just don't believe in it. I just don't. ChargePoint is a crappy company that is playing off of the EV infrastructure bill, trying to make it sound like they are more important than they actually are. It's basically like putting a ChargePoint is the equivalent of putting 240 volt plugs in at rest stops, and an EV person sitting there for 8 hours and charging. It's not going to work. They do have some, higher ones, but it's not worth investing in. It's too capital intensive a business to justify. And we did that. Let me see if there's anything interesting in the energy sector, because the energy sector, again, I think has been unfairly beaten up. I don't want to do finance because too many little kind of stuff comes up that I don't know. Energy, at least I can look at and I can understand, okay, it's big cap, blah, blah, blah. Nothing that I want, though. Let's look at our boy REI. Where's REI at? Ooh, this one got beaten. And for those of you that care. I lost some people money on REI up here at like 230. Probably made some money, but if you got out, but most likely you probably lost. And the only reason I did bring energy was because I like the store REI. So, okay. Okay. I think we're going to. I don't think there's anything on the front page that I want to talk about too much. Oil's going up. Holy shit. Natural gas is up 10%. Was it up 10% yesterday? Natural gas is up 4% in pre-market to 328. Boyle. Get ready. I think that one's going to explode. Duke Energy, I think we had a question about that one yesterday. Bilal. I think it's Bilal. Bilal, my apologies. Duke Energy, it's one that I'm not a huge fan of utilities. These are typically just ones that you play for the dividend. It has been unfairly beaten up, I believe. Let's pull it back a little bit here. You can see the actual chart. So I do think that you at least get back to that 200-day. The problem is that everything's in negative territory. You have no confirmation. The RSI is at 19. I do believe that this one at some point in time becomes a buy. I don't think it gets down to this 86 level. I could be wrong. They do have some problems. And you can read about it in the articles. Their average target price is 109. March 17th, Seaport sell to neutral. And that's an upgrade. But most of them are saying sell while keeping their price target up. This one from January 2022, I mean, it doesn't mean anything, but the price target is 68. The 52-week range is between 83 and 114. You're 8% above. So I don't think it's a bad one if you want to buy and hold it, because I think it does get back to 100 at some point in time. They just make too much money. I mean, the income of $3.92 billion. The problem is that energy is becoming more expensive, and these guys are a utility, so they're regulated. So their actual profits are regulated. You get a 4.43% dividend while you wait for it to get back up to 100. If we look at the long term of Duke and you go to a weekly, it's under the 200-day. And look at what happens every time it's under the 200-day. It winds up going above the 200-day. So I don't see this one coming down in this neighborhood. Pre-pandemic in January of 2022 or 2020, it was a $90 stock. I think that's where you're kind of just sitting at. I don't think it's a bad one. But do I think that you should buy it and think you're going to see a 10% pop in the next week? No. I think it's going to take some time to get back up here. They're just a regulated industry, and there's no catalyst that I see that's going to push them up. All of a sudden, do they finish a nuclear plant? They just had their ex-dividend date. The earnings have just passed. They made a bunch of money. It's okay, but they brought their earnings down. That's the only thing that I can think about this, because they're a regulated industry. So I don't mind it, but yeah, natural gas. I don't know. See, and I know it's 15. I guess this was yesterday. It's up 10% or something. 8 a.m. Yeah, it's up crazy. I think Boyle's your play today. Let's look at SPY. Okay, I'm gonna start the podcast because I do have to get out of here. It's 9:30. We're gonna take that. We're gonna push this back. I need to. There we go. Okay. And the YouTube was good too. If you're here, hit the thumbs up button. If you are new, make sure you're subscribed. I could use the subscribers, to be honest with you. And I'll go into the podcast. I will start out with a pretty good sales message. Okay, Good morning. It's Wednesday, May 24th, and I was just goofing around with everybody, and I've spent a while on YouTube these past couple of mornings because I got the time. But it's a nice day out today. I want to get outside, so I'm going to make my way through this. We got some really good stocks today, but I want to start off with 50% off TrendSpider Memorial Day sale. You can use my code DSP25, but honestly, use the 50% off code in order to get my algorithms, my watch lists, and my scans. You just have to sign up, send me your email address, communicate with me. Down below, there is a link tree. And the link tree includes an email address. It includes a Facebook private group that you can message me in. It includes Instagram where you can message me. It includes Twitter where you can message me. And any way that you can get in contact with me, whether it's a comment on YouTube with your email address, whatever you want to do. But it does get you an additional 50% off today through Monday. Check trendspider.com. It is 50% off. I talk about the Black Friday sale all the time. This is the next best thing next to Black Friday. You're getting it in May. So between now and November, you could use it. Make sure, again, it's just under $400 at 50% off. You need the elite level in order to get my algorithm. The lower level than that, it's the mid level that you really need. The higher level, I don't think that you need it. But the lower level doesn't get you the back testing or the strategy tester. So you really, really want that middle elite level. And again, it's just under $400. Now, if you're trading on $1,000 account, say you have $2,500, even $5,000, do not spend $400 on TrendSpider. Use free tools out there, like sign up for Fidelity and get Active Trader Pro. Use TradingView to understand moving averages and things of that sort. TradingView, the free version, you can absolutely chart with that. If you're on Robinhood doesn't do crap for you. Fidelity is a far better broker. Transfer your money over. If you got $2,500 in your account, I can get you a $100 bonus. Just email me with your account email that you use. I'll send it over, and my guy Stuart sends you a $100 gift card over at Fidelity. There's no link or anything like that. Just send me a message. But again, 50% off TrendSpider. And I had this talk with a subscriber last night. $400 is a lot of money for the majority of people. For me, it was a lot of money to spend when I first started using TrendSpider. In order to develop my strategy, the 4-hour algorithm, and David showed me the 65-minute algorithm that I need to, it's on YouTube. And I can point out that video. I'm going to make a playlist of just TrendSpider videos. Also, I'll make a playlist of all the daily stuff. But when I understood the strategy, what it does, there's two things that TrendSpider allows me to do. It allows me to take a look at the long-term trend of a stock. It allows me to look at insider information. It allows me to look at strange, unusual options activity. It allows me to use the seasonality. It allows me to look at the MACD. There are so many deep things that you can do in TrendSpider. But the main thing that my algorithm allowed me to do is take emotion out of trade. So we've all been there. You stay in a trade way too long. Oh my God, it's going to get back. Oh my God, it's going to get back. The algorithm allows you to look at, what? The algorithm says to get out, so I'm going to blame the algorithm. It takes emotion out of the trade. So 50% off. Again, the link is down below. Go to that link. I'll make sure that your email address is just on my chart, on my account, blah, blah, blah. It's so easy. And I'll get you set up. I developed a welcome letter that I can just email out to you as a PDF. And it's got my face on it. So it's super, super nice. Today is NVIDIA earnings day. But let's talk about SPY, where we're at. Look at that button hook right there. And I'm going to zoom in on this one so you can see. That button hook right there, and by the way, it is 935. So this is the current candle, and we're in the red. So we've opened down. It hasn't created a gap, but we did open down. My guess is that we don't gap. Right now, there is a gap between 413 and 414. It's not a huge gap. You do have this gap to fill between 408 and 407. My assumption is we fill that one on this way down. So I'm being very patient in my buys because SPY does have this cross down on the MACD. The RSI is trending down at 44, 49. It is in no man's land. So wouldn't surprise me if we get some type of news on the debt ceiling. This entire market is based on the debt ceiling. I've been saying this for days. These guys can't come to an agreement. They keep starting. They keep stopping. Next week is the absolute deadline. I would expect something to happen over this weekend. So until then, we're just stuck in this range. And we're going to go down based on news cycles. That's 100% of what it is. The Qs, same kind of thing. Whether you want to play SQQQ or TQQQ, right now SQQQ has been the winner. The other thing that's really winning is UVIXY. UVIXY, it tracks the VIX, which right now is up at 1975. Remember, we were trading with the VIX just 6 months ago at 30. It's gotten all the way down to 15. It is up 6%. UVIXY is up 4%. Doesn't track it exactly because it's based on futures and things. But the VIX is at 19. That could easily, with the debt ceiling getting closer, go up to 30. So be careful with that one. But you can see the Qs down here. They're getting the same kind of cross down. And the MACD's crossing down, same as SPY. It's all going to do the same kind of thing. Today is NVIDIA earnings day. And NVIDIA has pulled back to open. NVIDIA is down 1% at 302. My guidance for this, if it dips below 300, buy a little bit. Just buy a little bit. This is a $350 stock. If we go over to FinViz and we look at NVIDIA, and we look at some of the 52-week range, the 52-week range is between 108 and 318. If you got this at 108, high five, kudos. The PE is super, super high. I have been wrong about this PE. You should have bought it even though the PE was super, super high. This is basically the AI chip stock. You can buy AMD. AMD doesn't track as well. Here is a Seeking Alpha chart, which shows you NVIDIA versus XSD, which is a semiconductor ETF. It tracks SPY, and it tracks AMD. AMD year-to-date is up 68%. That's nothing to sneeze at. NVIDIA is up 114%. XSD only up 16%. SPY is up 8%. If I told you last year you could get SPY at 8% versus the 12% that it wound the year down, you'd be jumping for joy. NVIDIA at 114, you're perfectly happy. At 1 year, this gets a little bit more leveled off just year over year, but NVIDIA is still 79%. So it's crazy, crazy good. It's run up this amount. If we go back and we look at a weekly of NVIDIA, you can see the top here is about 350 back in the peak of November 2021. So you haven't quite made your way back. 350 is probably where you're going to at some point in time. Again, anything around that 200-day probably should have been an indication, hey, we're going to buy it. It has grown into its valuation. I think the over-under on the word artificial intelligence and AI is about 5,000 on this call. There's two dangers of NVIDIA. First, China. China banning any of their chips. You saw what had happened. This, I believe, in December of 2022 into this January. I think that dip was China saying, hey, or the U.S. saying you can't sell chips over to China. I forget which one it was, but it definitely was one where it took NVIDIA down. So you do have that kind of thing. China is famous for stealing intellectual property, so who knows exactly how they got around that. But NVIDIA created different chips that didn't include some of the national security stuff. So they were able to change it, and boom, they took off with AI. The other danger that you have with NVIDIA, that is short term. Here's where NVIDIA is going to drive this market. if we go to the home screen and we just on FinViz and we look at the S&P heat map over here, it's on the right. It's 15 minutes delayed, so it's still 4 minutes from actually getting it. We'll look at not 1 day performance, but we'll look at 1 week performance. And you go to NVIDIA, it's up 5% for 1 week. That big run, but the box is big. And while it's not as big as Apple, it's not as big as Microsoft, not as big as Google, it's about as big as Tesla, maybe slightly larger. NVIDIA could pull this market. If NVIDIA blows out their earnings, says that they have no inventory problems, and has just a legendary quarter, and the market either yawns or goes down, I think that's an indication that we've just oversold and again bounced on SPY. We bounced off that 420. We've hit that resistance level multiple times. We're up there. NVIDIA is one of the stocks that's basically bringing that and driving that up. So be a little bit careful with it, but I do think you're at 302 right now. If this dips under 300, your boy may just add to this one because I do think that it's a good one. When we talk about some of the tech that's leading the market, I took a look at FANG and I basically charted FANG for year to date. And you got Meta just blowing everybody away, 97%. You got Google with second place, just beating Apple, 37. Both are 37%. Amazon is 33%. Netflix is 20% year to date. Here's what you have to know about Netflix. Netflix is up 1% at the open today. You're seeing it kind of come down. You're still in this 322. You do have this gap between 340 and 345. I think at 350 is where you start to add Netflix. We had 300. I don't think you're seeing 300. Here's the reason. They started cracking down on passwords here in the U.S. They have said previously, one paying customer means 5 users, 5 households, not users, 5 households in the U.S. So to get one of those additional 4 users would mean an increase of 20% in subscriber base in the U.S. So it increases their subscribers and increases the revenue. So while you are getting a significant lower cost because of the writer's strike, you're not going to have as great a content. You could have churn, but they are going after the households. So they're looking at trying to raise both the number of subscribers and the revenue. That could be a killer for this one. And because you take a look at this Seeking Alpha chart where they're all kind of in there, Netflix could be brought up. So I don't want to say, hey, 20% isn't like a great year-to-date gain. And I do think that you're seeing this rising wedge and you've broken out above it. I think 350 is the support level. So I think adding this one at 360, I may just add a little bit because I do think when you take a look at this weekly, take a look at this because we're about halfway back to where we were in November 2021. That's a $700 stock and you're trading at 361. Now, when you go to Netflix and you look at the average target price, I think it's around 361. So you're up at the average target price. Again, it's up at 360. I think anywhere around 350. I think you can add this one safely and just buy and hold. China, they've announced that they have a COVID wave happening. And they didn't really announce it, but they said, "Hey, we got a COVID wave," and they're kind of putting down some of the news reports about it. mRNA, don't pass up the fact that Stephen Bancel, the CEO, the hype master himself, who's selling, if I go and look at mRNA here, and we go and look, I think it's $6 million a day, $7 million a day. Yeah. $6 million a day. He's selling $6 million. And this has been going on for at least a year where he's been selling $6 to $8 million a day of stock. He is a hype master. He has taken every COVID opportunity to hype mRNA, Moderna. So don't expect this one to maybe come back to 160. It could be a play. Your boy at 52 years old, I'm past these plays. I'm giving you guys ideas. It's just something that I thought about. I thought it was worth mentioning. Apple yesterday. Your boy is long Apple. I have to say that, and then I have to squeal like a pig. Like I think it was Joe or somebody, I'd squeal like a pig when I said it. I am not squealing like a pig when I say it. But Apple, your boy is long. They announced a huge multi-billion-dollar chip deal with Broadcom yesterday. You're still in Apple. It's got that button hook. My guess is that it comes down here, fills these gaps all the way down to 157. I think at some point in time, we just get beaten down. Maybe it's the June quarter. Remember, June is seasonally the second worst month for Apple. You can see it down. Maybe you can see it. I don't know. But if you had TrendSpider, you could see the seasonality. Only 43% of the time over the last 42 years has Apple had a positive June. So 4 out of 10. Not great odds considering the rest of them are at least 50%. October is 71%. The only other month that's worse is September, which is 33% of the time. So, and that's where Apple kind of sells new iPhones and stuff like that. And when they sell new iPhones, hey, there's no real upgrade, blah, blah, blah. That's what happens. But they did announce that big deal. Let's talk about yesterday's earnings. I told you, get Pan W. Get it while it was under 200 to 204 right now. It's up 7%. It's cybersecurity, guys. Nobody's cutting back on cybersecurity. You do have this gap down here. I said get it at 180 yesterday. I thought it was going to pop. It's at 204. If you've got this one and you're in long term, I would start selling it around 200 every time it's broken 200. You've seen it pull back under 100, under 200. So I think you will have an opportunity to get this under 100 again. It's just basic math. I mean, honest to God, it just happens like this all the time. You can see up here, back in April of last year, over 200. You can see right here, August of last year, over 200. It's dipped down all the way to 135 back in January, and it's just been on this run. It will continue on this run. If you want to hold this one long term, absolutely hold it long term. They announced $1.10 per share. Look at that. $1.05. They're growing their earnings. So this one is a good name to hold on for a long time. Pac C, Pac W, which is a regional bank, Pac West, which has just been on a legendary run. Right now it's down 1% at 703, but this buy right here at 487 in the algorithm, I said it was risky. But they've been selling their business, and they've been doing a good job of trying to keep the deposit levels up by selling the business and their businesses in an open market. I think it's good. $4.87, you've near doubled. I mean, at this point, up at 8, I probably would have sold, close to doubling it. Probably would have taken some profits, knowing that it's coming back down just because deposits have it. It's crossed its 50-day. It's crossed the 50-day. It's nowhere near the 200-day. If these guys survive, it's going back to the 200-day at 16. If they survive, this is a gamble. This is 100% gambling on that one. But Pac W is running right there. UBS named Meta their top pick for the rest of the year with a $300 price point. I basically on YouTube just said for all iPhone users, go into your daily activity and your settings or your screen time. If one of your top 3 apps, if your top 2 apps are Facebook and Instagram, buy Meta. Just buy Meta. I mean, honest to God, if you're using it that much, there are other people that are using it that much too. I have people in my life who freaking post every 10 minutes on freaking Facebook still. Yeah, they're old. Those people are old. But UBS named it the top pick, $300 price point. If we go over here to FinViz and we look up Meta, I want to show you the long-term chart of Meta. The PE is only 16, forward PE of 16. Year to date, you're up 104%. They made income $22 billion. Cash on hand, $14.54. They can buy some AI. If you haven't tried their open source Llama large language model on AI, try it out. But let's take a look at the weekly, because this is what I want to show you. There is still a gap in the daily that goes up here to 325. So buying at 246, not horrible. But this is the weekly. You just crossed the 200. So if you bought down here, anywhere down here, kudos to you. Even if you bought at 200 way back here in May of 2022, Maybe when I said, oh, it's a great opportunity, and you just held it, and you rode it all the way down to 85. Yeah, great. If you bought here at 85 and you timed this one, holy crap. High five, October 2022, the absolute lows. You can see from a weekly, we've got all the confirmation in the world. So I do think that you see 300 in this stock. You can get 25% from right there. So UBS named them their top surprise. Kohl's, KSS, they posted a surprise profit. They're up 10% to 21. This chart, I mean, just ignore the chart. It is down. They have no hope of actually surviving. I don't understand how they posted a profit, but they did. If we go over to FinViz, I think it's a 30% short that they have on this stock because they're near bankruptcy. Short interest, 19% short. So I was a little bit over, but it's huge short interest. Not only did they post a profit, if those shorts have to start buying their shorts, you could see it pop. So that's probably why you're seeing it pop 20 up to 21. I would say your tops on this one, if you bought it at 21 and you get to 25, you absolutely sell. If it covers that gap up here to 24.67, absolutely sell. I am not taking anything in this, but I wanted to bring it up. Abercrombie and Finch, ANF is the symbol. I wouldn't, I haven't worn their clothes since I was 19 years old. I am a boomer. I had Abercrombie and Finch. Walking into that store today would give me allergy, just concerns just based on the amount of perfume that's in there. But ANF posted a huge, huge quarter. They're up 20%. This is a stock that could go back to 30. It's at 27. I would not buy this one on the hype, but if your kids wear Abercrombie and Finch, because let's be honest, if you're 40 years old and you're wearing Abercrombie and Finch, you're not listening to my podcast. You've got more problems than you probably need to have than gambling in the stock market. You probably have debt. You probably have some type of convertible. You're probably taking Hims for your hair. I mean, let's be honest. That's the person who is wearing Abercrombie and Finch over the age of 20. But you can see they've been downgraded. Their average target price is 26. Today, you're trading at 28. Do not buy this one on the hype. I wanted to bring it up because AEO, this is American Eagle Outfitters that your boy got out of in December. And I was happy that I got out in December because I kind of, sold at a little high. Even though I lost money, I sold at 14. This one is up 3% just on those Abercrombie. It's up fairly big. So Abercrombie is bringing up a bunch of things, even Urban Outfitters. URBN is up, 13%. They had earnings as well. So the consumer might be back. I mean, honest to God, maybe this is something to finally invest in Target. Maybe they get some type of thing. They're down 2% at 143. I think Target at 143 got it. I still walk through Target and I love Target. I still buy every time I go in there, I buy stuff. Shopify. This is on the Daily Stock Picks core portfolio. It's one that I constantly watch. It's back under 60. I think you could easily buy this at 60. There is this gap right here, that created on earnings between 47 and 52. I think anything in the 50s, I think you're fine. I think by the end of the year, this is a $70 stock. They're going to make money. It is just too good. They're basically the Amazon. And look at this. If you go to a weekly, it's $152 here and it's high. November 29th, this was too expensive. But they've cut their costs back significantly. They are making money. So they're back to profitability. Think of this as Amazon without the fulfillment. That's what this is. This is basically all third-party sellers who Shopify allows them to set up a store, a website. They sell everything. It's unbelievable. So I do think that it's a $70 stock. I think if you want to buy it at 57, I think you're good. I think my average purchase price on this one is somewhere in the 40s. It might be in the 50s. Either way, I'm just holding on. I wanted to take a look at Energy Transfer. Energy Transfer was one, if you go over to FinViz and you go to home, it's still the biggest weekly buy insider buy. Warren Kelsey bought $12 million worth of ET. I'm sorry, he bought $12 million worth on May 15th. On May 22nd, he bought an additional $10 million worth. So I wanted to take a look at that chart because I brought it up, I think, around 1250. Right here. This was May 15th when we first saw the buy. And I said, hey, around 1250, I don't think it's bad. You're at 1272 right now. So it's got the confirmation. You're seeing a bit of a button hook. I do think that this gap up here between 1325 and 1327, not a huge one. I think it gets filled at some point in time. I think he's playing for around $12. He's going to basically make sure that this stock stays at that level. If you go and look at Energy Transfer, PE is 9, not huge, not, small for an energy company, but the dividend is 9.64. So while you're waiting for it to get to 13, if you go down to 12 from 1277, you're still getting paid 10%. Hold on to it for a year. That would be my thing. I just don't see energy being more beaten down than it already has. Energy is fine. So let's talk about scans. Some of the S&P 500, AMZN. AMZN is one. Is it beaten down? 224.42. Let's take a look at it from a fundamental standpoint. And I posted in the private Facebook group a great, Steve Burns wrote a great thing about fundamental versus technical trading and why you really want to do both. But look at this, 52-week range of energy, AMZN. 220 to 296. You're trading at 223. The target price is 255. Most recent, reiterated, Oppenheimer with a $290 price target. So AMZN, Insider Monkey, 14 best healthcare dividend stocks to buy. This is a 3.8% dividend. You're down 14%. Healthcare has just been a dog this year, an absolute dog. AMZN 224. Now the algorithm makes you 11% on AMZN. I repeat, it makes you over 2 years 11%. Buying and holding the stock over 2 years, you lost 6%. So your wins 29% of the time. So you don't win much. Your average win is 7%. So there were two communication stocks that had cross up. First one is Verizon, and I like Verizon. 3670 is the cross up. This one has not done well. It has been an absolute dog. The PE is not super high. It's 7, but this is a capital intensive business, and cell phones are and even home internet. It's a race to the bottom. Who's paying more money? If there's again, if I can tell you, if you're paying more than $25 a month for your phone bill, switch to Visible. The link is down in the description below. Verizon is the network that owns Visible, and it's the network that you're on. I like Verizon. Here's the thing. 7.2% dividend. Hans, their CEO, has committed to that dividend. He has not decreased it. At some point in time, maybe he decreases it. 1 year, you've lost 27% on this. Performance year to date, you've lost 8%. It just hasn't made sense. Your average target price is 43. Your most recent upgrade. This is all at the end of 2022. Anywhere between $41 and $50. From an insider standpoint, it's all sales, and they're all selling around 38, 39. But you're trading at 35.94. I don't think it's a bad one. But again, realize that this one and T-Mobile is one that actually has been growing. They've kind of changed up their plans a little bit. They're offering significant discounts on phones, blah, blah, blah. The service is ranked high on, I think Speed Test said that their service is ranked high. 147 to 149 is the gap. The price on the cross up, 141. This one on the algorithm versus Verizon or versus AMZN, this one actually the algorithm loses you 17% versus buying and holding the actual stock makes you 0.44. So it doesn't perform as well. Your average win is only 3%. So that's why I say I think Verizon would be the better one to actually play. One that I just saw, I don't know too much about the company at all, but it seems like a good 5% move. is Exelon Corporation. EXC is the symbol. And the algorithm has you buying in at $40.11. It's trading at $40.30. But the 200-day is $41.95. I would say hold this one for 5%. If you want to hold on to it for a year, I don't think it's horrible. If you look at EXC on FinViz, the average target price, waiting for this one to just come up. I think it's ads that are, let's see. I don't want to upgrade my FinViz, but EXC, let's see. Did it come up yet? No, there it is. Average target price 46. So I don't think it's crazy to think that it gets back to 44. You are 15% above your 52-week high of 35. So 41 seems like it's right in the middle. Not a bad play. You get 3.56% dividend while you're waiting. KOLD. I was shocked that it looks like Boyle is going to rise today. KOLD had a cross up. I would not buy KOLD at $68. I would rather see you buy Boyle, even though Boyle doesn't have a cross up. And I think you're out of Boyle. Let me just look at Boyle. It is a triple levered ETF. You're seeing a button hook right here on Boyle. I'd rather see you buy Boyle to cover this gap between 335 and 373. At some point, I think it gets up there. I think it's Boyle is probably your play. It's just been beaten down way too much. If you want to buy something that actually makes money versus buying something in the futures like Boyle and KOLD, which are decaying assets, LNG, Cheniere Energy, 145. It's trading at 143. This is one that I think if you buy it and then we get into the war in Ukraine is still going on through the winter and Putin is still doing stuff with natural gas in Europe, I think you see natural gas go up, and I think these guys are the guys that benefit from it. I think you see it go back up to the 170s. And in the meantime, I think you get some pretty good dividend on this one too. Let's see. LNG. Man, FinViz is slow today for some reason. FinViz, 1% dividend on LNG. But PE is 4. Forward PE is 11. Forward PE worries me a little bit because it is a bit high. But I think it's, again, U.S. nat gas up 2% on forecasts of higher demand through early June. That's where you're seeing, natural gas go up. We talked about UVIXI. UVIXI tracks the VIX, which is trading right now at 20. I said it was going to go over 20. It was at 18. 2027 is where the VIX is at. UVIXI is up 5%. Cross up at 329, 350. I think you cover this gap at 390 to $4. I think you could trade this one. I think the VIX goes up. I think with the debt ceiling, I think volatility is here to stay. And I think you're going to 25 on that one. Just personal kind of thing. Another triple levered ETF, SDOW. This is short Dow. So this is assuming that the Dow continues to go down. This is up 2% today. This is a secondary cross up. I probably would not go into this one. The only reason this goes up is if we get more worries about the debt ceiling not being completed. That's just it. So SDOW, it's a triple levered ETF. Have your stop loss on this one because it's run from 25.70 up to 27.53. I think 29 would be if we get to June 1st and we don't have an agreement. I think that's when you're at 29. So make your bets now. In the crypto space, ETHE, Ethereum Trust, Grayscale Ethereum Trust, had a cross up. $8.28 was the cross up. You're trading at $8.11. It's down. I'm not crazy about this one. I would rather see you trade and do not own, but trade GBTC. GBTC had a cross up as well. And you trade this one because the difference in the price of Bitcoin and the price of GBTC is just too great. But $14.30, you're down at $13. I think when you get under the 200-day on this one, the 200-day is at 1350. I think when you get under that, I think you can safely trade GBTC for a day trade. And, let's take a look at Mara. We talked about Mara a couple of days ago being under 10. It's at $8.95. Crypto's just getting a little bit crushed right now. Mara, I would wait for it to get under 850, and I think at 850, you're safe buying. Just wait for it to go to $10 at some point, because it will. It absolutely will. It's got no catalyst. The earnings are past. They lost 5 cents per share, which was pretty good considering the previous quarter they lost 14 cents per share. But Mara is just a trade. I don't think you buy it and hold it. I think you absolutely trade this one. So there are some ideas for you. I will talk with the people on YouTube for a little bit. If you're, remember, TrendSpider has started their Memorial Day sale, 50% off. If you have a trading account, or even an investment account or a retirement account that's worth more than $10,000 that you absolutely use to monitor, invest, whatever you do. And if you've ever had emotional trades in those things and you say, I want to take emotion out of the trade, get TrendSpider. It's 50% off, under $400. Everybody in that Facebook group who has gotten it raves about it. Everybody says, hey, it's life-changing as far as you're taking emotion out of the trade and making sure that you understand where a stock is going from a technical perspective. So, and when I go on vacation, you'll be able to look at this stuff because I'll give you access to everything. Next sponsor, Visible, $25 a month. You get $20 off with the link down below. So your first month is $5. I've said it before, get Visible. If you're paying $45 to T-Mobile, doesn't make sense to just try out Visible for $5 a month for the first month. Don't port your number over. Keep it. Just use the SIM when you're streaming YouTube on a train or in the back of an Uber or while you're traveling at an airport. Stream using Visible and, see what it's like. I absolutely love it. So if you have any questions, the links are all down below in the link tree. Remember, if you make money, treat me like a bartender. I'll lose you money at some point in time. But when you make money, throw a little my way. I love it. Gets my adrenaline pumping. So I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow is Thursday. And hopefully let's hope that NVIDIA posts a decent enough quarter to pull this market back up. I'd like to continue the bull market. So take care. Talk to you tomorrow. Boom, 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 boom. Devin, I like Duke Energy. I don't mind Duke Energy. I'm just not a big fan of dividends. Utilities. Let me export this. And Christian, you're right. I like Devin Energy. Devin asked about Duke, and then Christian posted Devin Energy. I think the swing point on Devin is still 60. I think they just have some cost problems. So it won't get back to 60, I don't think, this year. But in the meantime, you're getting paid a 10% dividend. I'd rather have that than a bond paying 5%. I mean, you're guaranteed the 5%, but I'd rather risk it for 10% and know that, in the future, it's going to be a $60 stock. Bilal, I went over AMZN. I think AMZN's a good opportunity. AMZN. I think it's a good, in pharma, I think that's one of the best opportunities out there, specifically if you're looking for short term. Abercrombie and Fitch at 41. Is it up that high? Okay, Q-tip. I don't think you're crazy at 41 years old to wear the plain shirts and the active shorts. It's the ripped jeans, and over cologne. And 41, I mean, let's be honest. 41 these days is not, 41, 12 years ago, like it was for me. 41 these days is, you could be dating, 23-year-old at 41? Am I crazy? No. So, Christian, Visible is owned actually by Verizon. So it's not essentially the reason T-Mobile bought Mint, and I think T-Mobile bought Mint, was because they didn't have a low-cost carrier. Eli Lilly has just been, Bilal, Eli Lilly, LLY. It's just had a run up. I think you pull back to this 200-day. You can see clearly that purple line is where TrendSpider is expecting it to go. And they're expecting it back down to the 200-day, 360. Q-tip high five if you've got the 21-year-old girlfriend. I don't think the women in my audience. I do have, I think it's, somebody was telling me they were looking at my demographics. Morning, Sherry. And I have 11 or 12% women, which for a financial podcast is amazing. But I told them I was disappointed. I'd rather see that not at 11 or 12%, but I'd rather see women at about 40%, because I think it's an under. Now, I don't say women should be trading, because listen, let's be honest. Anybody that's been in a household with a woman knows that woman holds up that household and does probably 10 times more than most men. In a single kind of parent household, the men kind of hold it down if they're the fathers and stuff like that, and they do a ton. But in the dual household, man, I think the women just hold it down. So they just have a lot more to do. So trading and listening to my podcast is probably not at the top of the list. But I'm proud that 11% listen. Let's be honest, that's no shrinking violet kind of thing. Okay. I'm going to move you over to Fidelity Active Trader Pro and properties. Let's go to Active Trader Pro. And name a stock that you want me to look at in Active Trader Pro. UVIXI. The VIX, it's at 20. I'm telling you, it's going to 24, 25. Debt ceiling, you're going to 24 or 25. I don't know why somebody would ask to join. What's this? No pending members. Okay. I guess he answered the question. By the way, if you're here, hit the thumbs up button. I have to remind you of that. Also, make sure you subscribe. I could use some subscribers on the YouTube channel, because I haven't monetized this yet, and I'd like to monetize it. I think it would feel good to monetize it. Create an episode. We're gonna put this over here. Transitions. I'm going to take my headphones off since it's hot in here. Transition. Gosling. I think that's an exciting one. We'll put that in today. We'll insert an ad. Spotify just hired me again for June. Go. Nah. This one doesn't inspire me. You know what? It's NVIDIA's day. Is NVIDIA hitting under 200? Under 3? NVIDIA's going to go under 300. When it goes under 300, I think you should buy it. Because I think it's at least a $350 stock by the end of the year. That's my take on it. YouTube. We're going to upload to YouTube. And hit the thumbs up button. Just remember, hit that thumbs up button. Let's upload video. I got to do a thumbnail for this one. And so let's go to Canva. I should do this all on my laptop so I can still show you guys TrendSpider. And remember, if you're here late, TrendSpider is having a 50% off sale for Memorial Day, and it started today. You'll get my algorithms, you'll get my watch lists, you'll get everything that you need to set yourself up. So when I go on vacation through the summer, I was just looking at my schedule for the summer. It's going to be a little bit crazy. I think I've got 2 jobs in July, 3 jobs in August, and 4 jobs in September, and then 2 jobs again in October. Let's see. Let's see. Let me see. Elements. Sale. I do I wouldn't call it work, but it's I think this summer it's all Major League Soccer. Essentially I do credentialing, you know, the lanyards that you see for VIPs and on-field staff and media. I'm the one that prints them and hands them out at the stadium for each event. So I think it's 4 days of work because typically all the production staff and folks like that show up, and we have to make sure that they all have their... And I'm not security. Ooh, this is a good one. Flash sale. And let's see, text. We're going to say, I'm going to put this in. Let's see, we're going to say, I'm going to shrink this off. Oh, come on. Move this. Oh. Where is it? Why did this go off? Let's shrink it down. I'm single, no children too. Sherry. Stop. God, I really hate this sometimes. we're going to say, I'm going to take this out. Oh, that wasn't good. Let me look at my notes. What am I going to name this? Short squeeze play. Okay. Boom, boom. $5.24 and we're going to download this. Download. Bum, 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 bum. Anybody have any questions? Question? Do you want a croissant? A croissant? Okay, preview, quit, and save. We're going to close that. No, Penny. No. No, ma'am. NVIDIA earnings. Netflix passwords. Short squeeze. 5.24, 23. SPY, QQQ, Meta. Now let's say Meta, top pick. Okay, let's say that. And we're going to take Meta out. We're going to put in Google. We're going to put in Apple and shop. Okay, and we're going to take this. Copy. Oh, no. We're going to put this into the new episode. Save episode. No. NVIDIA 3051. No. Go back to bed. Go back to bed real quick. I need you to go back to bed. Go back to bed. Notes. And we're going to copy that. I'm going to put this up. 50% off Transpider for Memorial Day. Get it now. Earnings. If it dips under 300, see. Let's see if this will take. Oh, it does. And then I'm going to copy, and we're going to publish, and then we're going to paste. I'm going to upload thumbnail. What should you buy for a laptop? So for TrendSpider or anything, it's a web-based, so it's just Chrome-based. You could get a $250 Chromebook. Just make sure you have 16 gigs of RAM. It might perform a little bit slow. Active Trader Pro would probably be more of a hog on anything because that's, well, you couldn't install that on a Chromebook. But since it's a web-based program, let me go back and I'll show you. I'll look to see if they have any hints on stuff. Upload thumbnail. Let me just get this desktop. Yeah, there we go. Okay. And no. Next. Publish. Okay. Close channel content. Sweet. There we go. I think the new thumbnail works better. Okay. Under 300. So I am going to buy, once I see it, get some confirmation. I don't think it's done going down. The NASDAQ is down 0.99. NVIDIA is down 2.3. I think people are just taking earnings, I think they're taking profits before earnings. And Sherry, let me go see. I'm going to move you back to... make sure you're subscribed, by the way, if you're not subscribed, and you hit the thumbs up button. That would help. Let me take you back here. Let me go to TrendSpider requirements. Terms of service, pricing, user guide. Let me see, computer requirements. Okay. Sherry, I'm going to move you back to Safari. I found this web page, bullishbears.com. And so, browsers, it may sound funny to talk about browsers, but several chart and trade websites do not function well on Windows default browser. So it's a good idea to upgrade to something Chrome-based. If you're getting a PC, I would absolutely get Chrome. Twitter is a great resource. What computer setup best for day trading? Big Power Tower, Dell, XPS. Best value in all-around big screen, 7.3 touch screen laptop. The big thing, I think, Sherry, and I find this super hard I don't like TrendSpider on my laptop monitor. And I mean, that's just who's calling me? Oh, that's the process server probably. The iMac has a big 27-inch monitor, and TrendSpider and things is just so much easier to look at things on here. So while you're not an Apple fan, I would see if you want a computer setup, the question would be, A, do you want a laptop to travel with? I think you travel a lot. So if you want a laptop to travel with, I would probably go Chromebook if it's just for TrendSpider. If you want something, because I think it's a 2015 iMac that I'm currently using here. It's spec'd out, so it's pretty high up there. But if you are interested in something with an external monitor, I think you could get a Mac Mini. And I'm not a PC guy, so I'm probably not the best one to ask. But that link that I just showed you, computer setups, this is for Thinkorswim, which is free, by the way. And I would say try Thinkorswim on a computer. Upload, download speeds, wireless router. There's your CPU. What kind of hard drive for day traders? You do want a decent sized hard drive, but you don't need it, since if you're just using TrendSpider, I would try a computer with Thinkorswim. And I would use those Thinkorswim minimums as kind of what to buy. See, they're even promoting TrendSpider. So, but NVIDIA under 300 at 299.79. Let's see. Let's look at the current candle. I think I'm going to buy at I'll put in a buy at 298. It's got a green candle in the current one, current 5-minute. And so here, let's take a look at, I know I'm on here. So let's use the last earnings, the last 2 earnings, as an example of NVIDIA. Okay? Look at that. Way back here in November 2022, you were trading at 165. Earnings come up, you trade down to about 153. Then you go here, it's got a buy. You got a 30% out here in December 2022. Then down here at 147, you've got a 40% gain. But you did see that button hook right there, right before earnings, and you could have gotten in at 209 instead of 232. So it gapped up for its earnings. Then you continued up. On this one, you're seeing a red candle right before earnings. So I think I'm gonna put in a buy right now. I'm gonna do it on my phone. I just think under $300. And it's not gonna be a huge buy. It's going to be enough. Transact, trade. NVIDIA. Bum, bum, bum. Let's see. Buy. And, oh, this doesn't tell me. Ugh, hold on. I need my laptop. I'm going to trade on my laptop. I could move you guys over to a another screen, but I don't want to do that. Active Trader Pro. Quit Active Trader Pro. Force quit. Okay, we've got that. I am going to go to, I haven't looked at bond rates recently. Yeah, you're going down to 298. Unlike most other situations, I have not lost money here by using this. Let's see. Bum, bum, bum. Oh, boy. NVDS or NVDL. I'm going to buy NVIDIA. You know why? I don't mind holding it. Because I do think it's a, $350 stock at some point this year. Let's see. Positions. I think I may buy this in my healthcare savings account. I'm earning 4% in that one. Wow, am I really? Yeah, I'm down. I thought Apple was going to be up. But let me see. I'm down 0.32. Yeah, I'm beating the market. I'm beating the indices, I should say. I can tell you my average purchase price for AMD is 114, so I'm down on that. CrowdStrike, my average purchase price is 183, so I'm down on that one. Even though I've been adding to it. Disney average purchase price is 113, so I'm down significantly on that one. But I'm holding that one for a year, so I'm going to be adding to it. Let's see. UNH, my average purchase price is $485.19, so I'm down on that one slightly. Wells Fargo, my average purchase price is $40.54, so I'm up on that one slightly. Average purchase price, because I sold a bunch of Exxon, my average purchase price is $54. So I'm only up 96% on that one. Let's see. Do I have that in the right fund? FCFX. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. All accounts. I think I'm going to NVDA. $298. I think I'm going to put it in at $298.90. Buy. Select an account. Yeah. NVDA. Order shares. Buy. See, it still doesn't have confirmation. I mean, it's still on its way down. That's why I don't necessarily want to buy it here, but I'm still buying. limit. Oh, let's see, 16. There we go. I think I'm going to do that. I'm buying 18 shares. There we go. And I did it at $299.10. So, boom, 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 boom. I did it at $299.10. Just so you know, I don't like to do it at $298, around there. I think I'll probably lose some money on it, but yeah, I just filled. So, let me see. Activity and orders filled $299.10. So, there, I traded with you guys live. Mark that down. So, Christian, I do have an HSA. I had high deductible accounts in the past. And remember, your HSA you don't need to spend it by the end of the year. It travels with you. So essentially, it's the greatest tool ever. And the way I use my HSA is I don't actually spend it through the year. I have enough cash to cover my healthcare expenses through the year. I keep the receipts. There's no statute of limitations on when you need to spend that money. So I leave it in there. I let it grow. I can take it out based on receipts at any point in time. So 20 years from now, when it's, I put 4 years in there, maybe just 2 years. But I haven't pulled any money out of it. I did pull some money out of it, but Devin is outperforming the S&P. I am going to dollar cost average. I only bought 18 shares. Just so you know, I probably want 50 or 60 total. So I'll add to it. I think if we see a more significant pullback, if we see a support level at 298, right now I'm seeing 299 as the support, at least over the last few minutes. I'm not seeing it break down to 295 or anything like that. I'm seeing the market down about 1%, which I think is where it's going to go. I don't see it outperforming that. The VIX is down from 21 to 20, so you're getting a little less volatile. Palantir is down. Tesla is down at 179, so it's broken the 180 mark. I'm just kind of looking at the overall market saying, I'm okay paying $299 for this thing. I've missed it all the way from 150 to 300. I just don't want to miss 300 to 350 because I do think at some point in time it's a $350 stock. Like I said, I don't mind holding this one for a year. Christian, I would say when I sign up for Obamacare every year, they identify which ones are HSA compliant. Even though I have a $9,000 deductible, I think it was going to cost me an additional $100 a month to be in the $9,000 deductible that was HSA compliant. And I think it's because the subsidies that they give you, they don't like you going into HSA because they assume that you're taking money out, blah, blah, blah. But I decided this year to not go into an HSA applicable one because I'm just planning on not making that much income. So I don't need the write down for it. It is a great investment tool and I probably would regret it, but I have 5 figures in my HSA account, which probably should, by the time I need it, turn into 6 figures at least, if not more. So I'm probably fine. But Yeah, I mean, 18 shares for me, Zephin. Like I said, I probably want 50 shares or so, and I'll just dollar cost average into it. I think 299 is a decent support level. Yeah, and so 2 shares, so you lose 20 or $30 if it goes down another 10%. That's why I don't like trading on here with you guys, because it does. I don't want to guide you in like with the dollar amounts that I do, and I'm horrible at talking, meaning that I just diverge and talk about shit. Probably half the time I shouldn't talk about shit, but hopefully you got into Pan W yesterday, because you should have made that money too. So SPY is down to 411. Yeah, see, you're dipping into 298s now. It's kind of putting in a good level. You look at these two, 1055. This one right here, we got a green candle. Current green candle. 2 reds, green, just turned red. So it's going down to 298. Okay, and I'm out of here. I got to go shower. It's 11 o'clock. I posted the videos for you. I'll post in the Facebook group. Again, if you guys are here, if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. If you are subscribed, thank you. Just hit the like button if you're here. I called it. I said if it dips under 300, buy NVIDIA. It dipped under 300. I think it's a good opportunity. Do I think it's going back? I was looking at Fidelity. This is the chart that I was looking at, by the way, to try and find the support level. It still didn't hit support at 299. It looks like it's breaking 298, so it might go down to 280. But I'm not upset at 299, getting it at 299. You can see right here, just from a long-term perspective, what I would say not even long-term, from the current perspective, I would say right along here. Yeah. See that right there? 0%. It's an absolute straight line. That is at 280. And I think that would be, if we have a bad report, that might be where you pull back to. If you pull all the way back here to 212, I'm loading up. I'm just going to load up. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm on the damn wrong thing again. I keep going. This is the straight line I did. 0% right there. I think with the tops and the bottoms of these, again, you want to cross for any kind of support or trend. You want to cross at least 3, if not more. I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 kind of crosses. 9 days. Not 9 candles, but 9 days, because it's on a 4-hour. If we want to, let me look at a daily, see if this travels over to a daily. It doesn't. But if you want to look at the daily, you still have this gap here from the last earnings. And, the previous earnings, you can see how you just kind of took off. You dipped down. This one, you just kind of kept going back up. So with that, I am out of here. You guys have a great day. Let me know if I can do anything for you. We're down at low 298. And on Active Trader Pro, I'm seeing it down. So let me look at UVixy. UVixy's up. The VIX is at 2045. Yeah, you've taken a leg lower on NVIDIA. it lost that 299 support, so it looks like it's trying to put in 298. But it's still, there's no kind of support level whatsoever. The VWAP is at 300. Yeah. Ooh, this just came out. What is this? Oh, that's nothing. MV Investor, limited liability. That is nothing. Ignore that. It's trying to hold on to 298. I'm not worried about it. I think this is like Google. Even if you bought at 119 or 120 on Google, you'll be fine. Oil's up 15 cents. 4.61%. See, it took off right when we were reading about it. It was down here at 315.